There's a beautiful verse actually to start with. We'll follow along. Satatam kirtayanto mam
Satatam kirtanam
yatantascha dridhavrataha
yatan tasya
nama namasyantascha mam bhaktya
Namah Shama
nityayukta upasate.
Nityam Bhashate.
Can anyone read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
Some
Yeah,
recordings. Maybe some. Oh, kids. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put you on mute, Mataji, and then whenever you are there, mine is also muted. Now you should be able to hear. So here we are describing the quality of Mahatma. We discussed that last week. We are continuing to the next point, which is what are the qualities of Mahatma. Well, a lot of times we have a question, who should be a role model? Whom should we aspire for? Whom should we follow? Because we always need a goal in life. You know, you can't just start anything thinking that, oh, I'm just starting because I don't have any goal in my life, right? We start to actually decide. Like for an example, say you want to go to New Vrindavan. First, you have to identify that I want to go somewhere, and then you plan and you put that in the Google Maps, right? So here, Krishna is beautifully explaining the qualities of Mahatma. What are the qualities of Mahatma? As he is always chanting my glories. I was just thinking about this Sunday feast. After Sunday feast, we were just discussing. His Grace Jai Sachinandan Prabhu was there, and we were just discussing about this. So he was telling my Shiksha Guru, he chants entire day. So he chants his 16 nouns, and then second he do a manana, which is basically no. Second is um like just on the mouth but not loudly, and the third which he does is mana, which is through the mind. Entire day he does, wherever he is, he just does that stuff. I'm like, that is so wonderful. So here Krishna is explaining, always chanting my glories. If you see Yogal Kishore Prabhu, whenever you get to see him, one or the other way, he's just talking about Krishna. He's so addicted to Krishna. Prabhupada was so addicted to Krishna. Whenever Prabhupada would, anybody would say something like that. Like one time, Prabhupada said, there was a brown grass and there was a green grass. So Prabhupada said, why this grass is brown? Now devotees are puzzled. What is Prabhupada asking? What is the context? He must be asking something. So Prabhupada said, Prabhupada, because finally one devotee said, Prabhupada, this is because this is disconnected from the root. Prabhupada said, exactly. When we are disconnected from Krishna, we are like that brown grass. We don't have our existence. We are losing our existence, right? That is Mahatma. What is Mahatma means? Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. I don't remember the second line, but the important part is that wherever we see, we think about Krishna, we talk about Krishna, we hear about Krishna. Like my Shiksha Guru was saying one time, one time, oh, this Maharaj, Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, he actually called him. And then he called him and he asked him, please share me something about Krishna. Now, this is interesting. He's like a pure devotee. And then he's asking the Shiksha Guru, tell me about Krishna. He knows everything. Um, but then he shared something about, he got just confused. Then Maharaj spoke about Krishna, this is what I've been reading. And then he told my Shiksha Guru saying that, can you do me a favor? Anytime you get to speak to someone, first thing you have to make sure is that before ending the call, you have to share him about Krishna, and you have to hear him about Krishna. Right? That is the quality of Mahatma. always chanting Krishna's glories, endeavoring with great determination. Whether my life is going in south or whether it is my life is going in a right direction, irrelevant of that, my determination is not affected. Take an example about Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was a wonderful devotee. He was worshipping Krishna when everything was going great. When all of a sudden he got a curse to actually die in 7 days, he wasn't bewildered. He immediately utilized that opportunity to actually remember Krishna and hear about Krishna. You see many examples from Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj. Nobody else, his own father is actually trying to kill him. That is the situation he has. But even in that situation, he is not complaining. He is saying he's somehow utilizing that opportunity to be in connection with Krishna. Vibhishan, we just Ramayana just passed, right? Ramanomi just went just last week. Where is he? Where is Vibhishan living? He is living amongst demons. In spite of that, his determination to practice bhakti doesn't go away. Vidura, take Vidura's example. Vidura is living in the assembly of, he is the prime minister of whom? Dhritarashtra, who is not just materially blind but even spiritually blinded. He is assisting him. And then he is giving him a lot of guidance, but in spite of all this guidance, Dhritarashtra is not listening to him. And it reached to that extent that his son, Duryodhan, actually kicks him out and he says, if you stay here, I'll kill you, you get out. Imagine a situation that you're being so loyal, working day and night for that person, and then that person's son come and kicks off and that person doesn't say a single word, right? For whom you are following all the instruction, right? That is the situation. Here, Ramanomi, we have been hearing and reading about Ramayana so much. Kaikai. Kaikai is Ram's stepmother. She loved him like anything. But all of a sudden, Kaikai is being contaminated by Mantra's words, and now she is the one who is asking Ram to go to the forest for 14 years. And not only that, when he is going, she is telling, hey, remove your king's clothes, you wear these hermitage clothes. The hermit, like you have to wear those clothes. See, the quality of Mahatma is that whatever situation I am in, I want to practice bhakti with determination. Not that we don't want to be there is a term called as fair weather devotee. When everything is good, I want to practice Krishna consciousness. When things go south, I just, I don't have a time. I have to take care of these things. To be honest, time doesn't stop for anyone. I was just reading Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 6, where Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukadev Goswami, how's that people go through so many disturbance in their life that see other people are going through. There was one story which I heard in Ramanomi Day, very wonderful point which Vrindavan Prabhu was sharing, His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu was sharing. He said one time when Sadhu came to King's palace, he said, can I stay here today? King said, yes, absolutely, why not? So he said, which dharamshala I'm going to stay in? He said, there is no dharamshala. You're going to stay in my kingdom. Oh, really? I'm going to stay in the kingdom? Okay. Can I meet your grandfather? He said, he's not there anymore. He passed away. Okay. Can I meet your grandfather? I'm sorry, he's not here. He passed away. Can I meet your father? No, he passed away. Interesting. So you are calling this as your kingdom. Sometime down the line, you're also going to go away. So this is not your palace. This is actually a dharamshala. This is a temporary place we all have, right? So we don't realize that even the body I'm living in, the soul actually, that is also not mine. That is also not mine because I don't have a control over it, right? Things go beyond our control. Our digestion system, we want our digestion system to be perfect. We want our health to be perfect, but I can't control it. It just Whenever the time is there, whenever the body has to respond, it will respond, and whatever difficulty we go through, which means we are not even possessor of this body. So what is the point in spending our time and energy focusing on that which we don't even own? So endeavoring with great determination is that whether my life is going comfortably or whether I am having disturbances in my life, I want to perfect my life, and I want to practice bhakti with the same determination. I still remember Nayan Sundari, when she was expecting Mukunda, even in ninth month, she would climb like 20, 25, no, actually 40, 45 stairs to actually go and seek the darshan of the Lord. She would do that, and everybody would surprise, "Hey, how are you walking in 9 months, like that you're going to the temple?" Very clear. Whatever happens, left or right, I will do everything with determination. That is one example she set up for me. And bowing down before me. He was Vrindavan Prabhu shared a very beautiful point. No, I think yesterday, Sunday feast, or Rasika Bhuvi Krishna Prabhu, he actually shared a beautiful point. He said, wherever Lord's temple is there, all the rivers are present there. So that's why when we enter the temple, we bow down, because we are bowing down to all the sacred rivers and seeking their blessings. So a devotee always bows down. Recently, His Holiness Chandrasekhar Maharaj came. Yugal Kishore Prabhu was sharing about him, saying that in the temple there used to be festival of inspiration, or festival of inspiration, I think he mentioned, in New Vrindavan, and lot of devotees will come, lot of kids will come, and everybody who enters in the temple and bow down, Maharaj will bow down to them. That is a mood. That is a mood. I realize that I am actually offering obeisances to the spirit. I'm offering obeisances to Paramatma within everyone's heart. Indirectly, you're offering it to Krishna. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So there are two aspects to devotion, right? One is Vaidhi Bhakti and second is a Raganuga Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is following the regulative principles, following the Bhakti. I am told to attend Mangala Arti, I go to attend. I am told to chant 16 ounce, I do it. I'm told to follow four regulative principles, I do it. Doesn't come from the heart, but we follow it as a regulative principle. Prabhupada says, fake it until you make it. So Vaidhi Bhakti is, I want to follow in a perfect way whatever has been told to us. And then what happens as the principle? So when you do that, right, what happens is, there are three things. I was just hearing my spiritual master this morning. There is Sambandha, Abhideha, and Vijnana. Sambandha, Abhideha, and Prayojana, sorry. When we say Sambandha, we understand my current position. So we hear philosophy, we understand Krishna, we read about Krishna, and then we practice that in our life. And when we practice, keep practicing, like doing a Vaidhi Bhakti, one day actually we reach to the goal, which is Krishna Prema. Everything just comes spontaneously. When I see the beautiful darshan of the Lord, the tears are just flowing from my eyes. Right? That is the mood we are having. Thank you, Jawad Prabhu, for joining in.
Sorry, I was in Jaideep's taekwondo class.
No problem, Prabhuji. Thank you for joining in. So we are discussing 9.14, that when we say perpetually worship me with devotion, that when I keep practicing for years and years and years and years, one day I actually develop love of Krishna. And that day I do not think what is day, what is night for me. I don't care about whether I have a bank balance or not. I don't care about whether I have a green card or not. I don't care about whether I still have a house or not. I don't care about whether I have a car or not. I don't care about whether my kids are going to college or not. Will they get admission in Oxford University or not? Because you are understanding, it is everything is arranged by Krishna, and he's orchestrating everything in my life. Pandavas, how much they went through throughout their life. So much suffering from the beginning till the end. Tell me a day when they did not suffer. First and foremost thing, before they were born, their father died. Okay, their father died. After that, the kingdom was given to Dhritarashtra, their maternal uncle, and he is supposed to give them the kingdom back when they grow up. But he doesn't do it. He takes it away. And then after that, Duryodhana is arranging all ways to actually kill them. But crystal clear, whatever happens, I'm going to keep Krishna in the center. Things come and go. My job is there today, tomorrow it may not be there. My health is good, tomorrow it may not be there. My family is supporting me, tomorrow they may not be. My financial situation is great, tomorrow it may not be. In thick or in our thins, we do not forget Krishna. Jesus Christ said a beautiful statement which actually mesmerizes me. What he says is, either be cold or either be hot. Don't be a lukewarm, otherwise I'll spit at you. What does that mean? We do not want to be a fair weather devotee when everything is good. I want to practice Krishna. No, I want to practice Krishna consciousness irrelevant of whatever position I am in. I don't get carried away by spring season. I don't carried away by winter season. That is the real application. Sitoshna sukha dukkhada. I be equipoised, not affected by what is happening around me. Right? So Prabhupada here beautifully explaining in the purport. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Prabhupada is saying the Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping in ordinary man. Nobody is born as a very completely spiritual, and nobody is born as a leader. Everyone is a child. But they make such decisions in their life because of which they are called leaders. Similarly, Mahatmas are not born Mahatmas. They perform certain actions, they make decisions in such a way. That's why people call them Mahatmas. And of course, we are not talking about Mahatma Gandhi here. Yes, he saved the country, but at the end of the day, he has to leave the body. He did not practice Krishna consciousness. At the last minute, what did he remember? Did he remember Krishna? No. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. What does that mean? Do I leave my job? Right? And then I just go outside, that I don't have to work and then do that? No. The whole idea is that I want to practice Krishna consciousness in such a way, saying that 24 by 7, I'm trying to engage myself in devotional service even when I'm working at my work. That is our business. We have to come to that consciousness. Bhakti is simple but not easy. What does that mean? It's a simple process. We are supposed to chant Hare Krishna for 16 rounds, and then we are supposed to follow 4 regulative principles. Simple. But not easy. Why? I have my shortcomings, I have my restriction, I have my limitations. What are these limitations? Nobody put a limitation on that, but I am myself putting a limitation. I have a time to go and see beautiful tulip festival. I have time to go to Niagara and see Niagara Falls. But when I ask that I want, Krishna says, please come to the temple. Sorry, I don't have a time. I have to take care of my job. I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of my parents. I have to take care of my XYZ. The list keeps going. Everyone has n number of excuses to say that I don't want to practice Krishna consciousness. And then what do we expect is, like I was sharing last I think Monday or whatever, I think Sunday I was sharing. We have a wallet. In the wallet, what we do is we put 100, and then after 50 notes, 50, then 10, oh sorry, 50, 20, then 10, then 5, then 1, and then cents, right? Whatever is there. When I go to Walmart, when I go to Best Buy, when I go to Costco, when I go to whatever store, whichever wherever we want to spend more time, what will I do? I'll remove the back side of the pocket. I'll take 100 note. But when I go to temple, I look for pennies. I just start from front. That's a cheap mentality. This is just one example about. This just shows where is my consciousness. What do I want to give Krishna? Similarly, what we do is, when I grow old, no, when my body is not responding, I don't have to take care of so many responsibilities. That time I'll come to Krishna. When I'm not able to speak, when my teeth are not able to chew, when my ears are not able to hear, we want to give the cheapest thing to Krishna and expect $1 million from Krishna. That is unfortunately the situation of Kali Yuga, right? So here, what is the purport Prabhupada saying? In other words, he is not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising His holy name, His eternal form, His transcendental qualities, and His uncommon qualities. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, question for all of you: when we go in front of the Lord, when we go and take the darshan, how many minutes do we want to take the darshan? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What do we do there? Do we glorify the Lord or do we ask the list? Sukh sampati gar aave kashta mite tan ka. We ask everything about me. There is a glorification of the Lord. Here it is beautifully explaining about Mahatma, what principle I am applying in my life. Okay, I understood. I read this verse to get today. So what is the date today? April 3rd, 2023. So I go to the temple on April 4th, 2023 for an example. What do I do? Oh, I read about Mahatma. I heard about Mahatma. What are the qualities? Whenever he sees the beautiful form of the Lord, he glorifies the beautiful form of the Lord. But I'm not doing it. So why I'm reading this verse? What is the point in reading the verse when I can't apply in my life? There is a beautiful story about a parrot. Uh, a parrot was taught how to chant Hare Krishna. So anything would happen, he'll say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So what happens is nothing goes inside. I'm just externally chanting. Like any mundane song. Of course, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not a mundane song. I shouldn't say like that. But the attitude is that I'm doing it for the sake, man. Just forget it. No who's listening. I'm just doing it. Now imagine, now again a question for all of you. You go to a job, you go to your work and there is a meeting. And your CIO is there and your CEO is there, whatever is there, and or your boss is there, and ex boss to boss is also there, and they are sitting in the meeting. And then you take your phone, I have to respond to my wife. Oh, I have to take care of my kids. Did you eat your lunch? Did you eat your dinner? What will happen? Any person who will say what will be the output? Anyone? Anyone wants to say what will the boss going to say? Jawad Prabhu, you want to add?
No, can you please repeat the question, Prabhuji, please?
I said you go to a meeting,
Mm-hmm.
your company's CIO is there, CEO is there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're sitting in the meeting, you open the phone and you text your wife, hey, did you eat your lunch? And you ask your son, hey, did you go to school today? How was the school today? Or you see, oh, what is my bank balance? What happened to my stocks? You do this in the meeting in front of CIO. What will happen the next day?
Then out the door.
You will get fired, like.
Yeah, you'll be immediately fired. Hey man, you love to talk to your family, right? Here is the wonderful gift we want to give you. What is that? There is a pink slip for you. You go home, and now you comfortably be with you. Why you have to be so far with your family? You can just sit next to them, so that you don't have to talk to them on the phone. But when the CIO of our life comes, who gave us everything, I want to keep him to the distance, saying that okay, you are here, but I want to take care of my things. I have to take care of my family, I have to take care of my job, I have to take care of my car insurance, I have to take care of my stocks, I have to take care of my I-140, I have to take care of my 401k. Okay, if you want to take care, you go and stay there. You don't have to come there. Krishna unfortunately doesn't, fortunately or for unfortunately, doesn't give you pink slip. You enjoy. And then what happens after death? Now, will I say, Krishna, you enjoy now? No. Krishna, I made a mistake. Can you please correct it? I'm sorry. This is one way. You cannot go back and tell me, oh, I want to rewind this cassette and correct my mistakes. You'll be given a beautiful from scratch. You'll start your life from scratch. You do orchestrate the way you want to do it. What happens? Again, chewing the chewed. What does that mean? We want to chew the same gum which has been chewed for many, many lifetimes. We keep repeating the same things. This is the unfortunate situation we have. Our mind is making fun of us. Our mind is giving us other priorities than Krishna consciousness, and I keep doing that. I want to take care of my son, my to take care of my daughter. They grow up, they go to college, they get married. Man, they are happy. Now I'm getting old. I'm not able to chew. I'm not able to digest. I'm not able to walk. I have knee problem. I have ear problem. I have head problem. I don't have hairs at all. What is the situation we are in? I worked like an ass for the entire life. For what? To suffer? That is unfortunate situation of our life. So here, Prabhupada is saying, one who is attached to impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Brahman Jyoti, is not described as Mahatma in the Bhagavad Gita. It's very important, Prabhupada again and again bringing, because there are so many institutes at India for sure, here maybe few, which are talking about, oh, Krishna is like light. This lot, no, they don't even say Krishna. They say God is like a light. He's described in different way in the next word. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is that person engaged in? Hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna. He doesn't chant about other demigod or human being. Hey, look at Salman Khan. Hey, look at Abhishek Bachchan. Hey, look at this guy. Hey, these I don't have anything to do with these guys, man. Let them do what they are doing. Let me perfect my life. That is devotion. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, and Smaranam. Remembering him. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve at the ultimate end the association of Supreme Lord in any way on one of the five transcendental rasas. Trust me, when somebody is leaving the body, it is extremely painful, impossible to remember Krishna. Right there, I was there next to my wife when she was leaving the body. Extremely painful. Her lungs were completely gone. They literally said there is so many toxins has been filled in her body. We cannot continue her like that. With that situation, she's offering obeisances to everyone, completely sedated. She knew that I just have few seconds left. How is that possible? Because a person who molds their life around Krishna for the entire life, Krishna makes sure that person is taken care of. We can't do a part-time job here. We cannot do a part-time, half-hearted business here and expect Krishna is going to give me the ultimate result. Sorry, this is not going to happen. Like for an example, imagine your CIO is setting up a meeting at 11 a.m. Right? Everybody knows that this is CIO and this is in-person meeting. We have to be there in that room. If you go at 11:15, what would happen? Can you do that? Can you afford to go at 11:15? You don't. If Mangla Arti starts at 5 a.m., I go to 5:15. I'm just talking about myself. I'm not talking about anyone else here. What happens there? Hey, Krishna is, I'll just take it for granted. If we take Krishna for granted, Krishna takes us for granted. Ye yathamam prapadyante. The way we approach Krishna, Krishna reciprocates the same way. He tries everything. But we don't want to take up Krishna seriously. That is our problem. And that is where Krishna also says, okay, you go carry on, man, whatever you want to do it. Right? So Prabhupada is explaining here, to achieve that success, he engages all activities, mental, body, vocal, everything. From his body, from his tongue, everything is engaged in Krishna's service. I see devotees Sunday, right? Sunday there is a feast being prepared for more than 200 people. You know what it takes to have puri, sabji, dal, rice, and sweet. What does it? How many people have to work in the kitchen for us to have a plate? Any guesses? Or how many hours? How many people have to work to actually make that one plate? Of course, many devotees are there. What do you think? How much effort does it take? Anyone here?
Lot of effort, Prabhu. They start very early in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe 5 to 6 hours.
Correct. Exactly. At 10 o'clock or 9:30, devotees start coming. There are more than 20 to 25 devotees who are cooking, chopping vegetables for us to have that one plate. When I just saw that, I literally had tears in my eyes for me to eat one plate. When I'm comfortably eating and complaining sometimes this is not there, that is not there. Did I contribute anything? And when I started doing it, just standing even for 2 hours, and I'm exhausted on Sunday. What does it teach? It is teaching me to learn how to be grateful and participate in that. We have huge amount of time to do other things, but we don't have time to come and render services. There are so many people after cooking, there is another 4 hours of washing the vessels. So what it takes to have one plate is actually pretty much like 10 to 12 hours of effort for so many people. But what am I doing? I come, eat prasad, leave. What am I doing? Where am I heading towards in my life? We have to ask these questions to ourselves. That is the realization of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, it is just an intellectual massage, not taking us anywhere. Right? That is called full Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says. What does Krishna consciousness means? Developing the consciousness of Krishna. And what it takes to develop consciousness of Krishna? Understand if Krishna would be here, what will he do? Will he just eat the plate and go away? Will he just ring the bell, take the darshan and go away? No. He would be eager to see each of us. Krishna and Radharani, Nitayapati, Tapana, Gaurari, they are standing. We go and ring the bell, see them and get out. They are eager to see us. But we are not, we don't have any eagerness to see them. We want to go when things are going good in our life. When things are not going so good in our life, we want to take the back seat. But when the paycheck comes, I want to be the first person in the seat. What is that consciousness? That is consciousness of I want to take, I want to take. Right? So that's the point which I wanted to share in this verse. Any questions or comments? Actually, there are two more paragraphs which we read. In devotional service, there are certain activity which are called as determinated, such as fasting on certain days, like 11th day of the moon, Ekadashi, and on the appearance day of the Lord. Fasting is extremely important. We have to teach our kids, we have to first be an example that on Ekadashi day, I want to fast. Why I want to fast? Yeah, there are many benefits. First and foremost thing, our body system needs a break. Not that whole day we are just hogging like a dog in our mouth. We need the break for the system also. And we do that on Ekadashi. Helps us to actually rejuvenate. And on top of it, help us to control our mind. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the Association of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Mahatma's great souls strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result. As described in second verse of this chapter, not only in his devotional service easy, but it can be performed in happy mood. Beautiful. When we have Aarti, everyone is dancing, chanting, being mesmerized. But sometimes we just become so mechanical, we just go there and just stand there, without understand. It's like, you come like some of us, like imagine you go in the Chinese market and everybody is speaking Chinese. What will you say? I don't know what is going on. Exactly looks like that. Right? We just stand like that, or I just don't understand what's going on. I remember I did that, and now I regret about it. Hey, why people are dancing? Are we supposed to dance in the temple? That's what I used to think, and that is our unfortunate thing, right? In any position, anywhere in the world, he can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul. So in this verse, we have been focusing about the great qualities of Mahatma. What are the great qualities of Mahatma? Can someone say?
Satya, truth.
Correct, Prabhu. Satya is wonderful, but we did not cover the Satya here. We talked about he always wants to chant the name of Krishna because Satya, for an example, if someone comes to a robber comes and hides in my home, saying that, can you tell the other person that I'm not here? What will you do? If you tell him the truth, the persons who are catching him, he's going to die. And if you lie, you're going to die because at the end of the day, you have to suffer. So
Right. Yeah.
Satya varies on situation, right? It's very difficult to practice. For an example, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Krishna said, hey, you tell who died, and you
Aswatthama.
Ashwatthama died. Ashwatthama, and you say Ashwatthama died, the elephant. Yudhishthir doubted what happened to him. His chariot was always going above the earth, touches the earth. Now, where is the truth here? Is he saying truth? Yes, he is being Satyavak, but what benefit is he giving? He's not following Krishna's instruction. So when Krishna is saying, say the lie, we accept the lie. We say the lie because that is the truth. Everything is dharma means to following the instruction of God. Right? So in this verse, when we talked about Mahatma, the qualities, he always wants to chant the name of Krishna. He wants to talk about the beautiful qualities of Krishna. He wants to practice bhakti with determination. He wants to bow down, and that is how he becomes Krishna's dear friend. Right? Make sense? Should we move to the next verse? Any questions or comments?
Mhm.
Okay. Let's read text 9.15. ज्ञानय ज्ञानयज्ञेन चापि अन्ये
ज्ञानयज्ञेन चापि अन्ये
यजन्तो मामुपासते
यजन्तो माम् उपासते
एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन
एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन
बहुधा विश्वतो मुखाम्.
Bahuda Vishwato Mukha.
Wonderful, thank you. Can you read the translation, Jawad Prabhu?
Let me do that. Give me 1 second.
I just shared my screen if that helps.
Yeah. Other who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as one without a second, as a diverse in many and in the universe form.
Beautiful, thank you, Prabhu. Previous verse we talked about bhaktas. We did not talk about gyanis or we did not talk about yogis. In this verse, we are talking about Krishna is talking about yogis, others who engage in the sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge. This is jnani. What is jnani's main purpose? I want to acquire the gyan. I want to gain the knowledge. And with that, they worship the Supreme Lord as the one without the second, as diverse in many and in universal form. They worship Paramatma and that presence of the Lord in the universal form. So Prabhupada is explaining in this verse. This verse is a summary of previous verses. The Lord tells Arjuna that those who are purely in Krishna consciousness and do not know anything other than Krishna are called Mahatma. Yet there are other persons who are not exactly in the position of Mahatma, but who can worship Krishna also in different ways. Some of them have already been described as distressed. The, some of them are described as who comes to Krishna distressed, who has difficulty, financially destitute, he has financial problem, the inquisitor who wants to understand more, and those who are engaged in the cultivation of knowledge. But there are others who are still lower, and these are divided into three. He who worship himself as one with the Supreme Lord, thinking that I am God. He who conquers some form of supreme lord and worships that, I'll create my own babas and I'll start worshipping them. He who accepts the universal form, the Vishwarup of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worships that. Interestingly, the Vishwarup which Krishna shows to Arjuna, that is also temporary. Prabhupada is clarifying that. Out of the above three, the lowest who can worship themselves as the Supreme Lord, thinking themselves to be monist, are most predominant. Such people think themselves to be the Supreme Lord, and in that mentality, they worship themselves. Horrible. This is also a type of God worship, for they can understand that they are not the material body, but are actually spirit soul. At least such a sense is prominent. That's good. Generally, the impersonalists who think that God is just like a light worship the Supreme Lord in this way. The second class includes the worshipper of demigods. One on Saturday I'll go to Hanumanji, on Monday I'll go to this Devata. Those who by imagination consider any form to be the form of Supreme Lord, all devatas are the same, whether you worship this guy, that guy, just everything is just the same. That's not true. And the third class includes those who cannot conceive of anything beyond the manifestation of material universe. They consider the universe to be supreme organism or entity and worship that. The universe is also a form of the Lord. Everything they'll worship without even understanding. Right? So this is specifically talking about not Mahatmas, but a lower level than Mahatmas, who also can worship Krishna. But at the end of the day, like I say, ye yathamam prapadinde, the way you worship Krishna and the mood you worship Krishna, you achieve that form. Right? Any questions or comments in this verse?
No, no, Prabhuji.
Wonderful. So let's read text 16. Aham kritur aham yajna
Aham krut ahim yajna
swadaham aham aushadam
swadamam aham aushadam
Mantroham aham evajyam.
mantro am aham evajam
Aham agnir aham hutum.
Agir,
Agnir aham hutam.
vatam.
Beautiful. Mataji, do you want to try the translation?
okay. Oh gosh, I didn't bring my glasses, so I'll let
That's okay.
somebody else
I'll
read
read
it for me.
Mataji.
Okay, God, please. Thank
But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestor, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Krishna is telling, when whatever you do, whatever you are performing in the yajna, I am actually everything indirectly. When we put the har, Krishna says, I am the har. When you chant the mantra of Om, that is also me. When you offer the butter in the fire yajna, that is also me. The fire itself is me. And when you offer the fruit, they are also me. I am the ritual and I am the sacrifice. Right? This is amazing. Where can we say that Krishna is not there? The Vedic sacrifice known as Jyotistoma is also Krishna, and he is also a Mahayajna mentioned in Smriti. Again, we haven't read those scriptures, so I can't comment on that part. The oblations offered to the Pitraloka or sacrifice performed to please the Pitraloka, considered as kind of drug in the form of clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantras chanted in the connection are also Krishna. And many other commodities made with milk products like ghee, right, for offering in the sacrifice are also Krishna. The yogurt, that is also Krishna. The fire is also Krishna because fire is one of the five material elements: earth, fire, water, air, and ether, and is therefore claimed as a separate energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in Karma Kanda division of the Vedas are in total also Krishna. So indirectly, we are dealing with Krishna, but we do not want to accept it. Or in other words, those who are engaged in devotion, rendering devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood to have performed all the sacrifice recommended in the Veda. So you don't have to go separately and perform other rituals to actually come to Krishna. When you practice Krishna consciousness, all other processes are by default included in that. This is amazing, right? that whenever you chant the name of Krishna, you are actually taking care of all those things. There is a beautiful thing which I was reading in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1. If you perform any other yoga, which is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, you can counteract the sins of previous life. So what happens is, based on whatever activities we perform, right? Whatever karmas we perform. So there are pious deeds and impious deeds. We cannot get away with karma. If I'm alive, until I'm dead, I'm performing karma every millisecond. So there are good karmas and there are bad karmas. So I'm supposed to reap the fruits of those karmas. So if you want to get out of those karmas, you have to take atonement. So, for Vedas talk about what kind of atonement you have to go through for certain kind of sins you have performed. You know that what I did. So you perform those atonements. So that's what the other yogas which we talk about in in Bhagavad Gita, they help you to atone for those karmas. But what about the new ones which I'm again cultivating? Like it is like a person, like an elephant, which goes and take a bath very lavishly for hours and hours, comes out and then roll in the mud. What does that mean? You eradicated all your karma, right? You removed all the karma by doing atonement, and then you again roll in the dust, which means you again performing the karma. Then again you do atonement, you perform karma, you again atone. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking, he's very compassionate. He's asking Sukadeva Goswami how to get out of this. Because the propensity to perform wrong deeds is not going. So I'm perpetually going in the cycle of birth and death. How do I counteract that? He says only bhakti yoga is the process through which you can actually not only counteract the previous life's karmas, but you actually lose the propensity to perform those sins again, which is very, very important. Like a thief who is captured in the jail, say for 13 years or 12 years, and after that he comes out and he again starts doing the same thing, again goes to the jail, again comes out, again does the same thing. His life is just going. Similarly, we are like in the jail, which is material world. We keep going, come into the material world, and then we atone, and again we perform the bad activities, again we go to take another birth in the material world. So where is the way to get out? In spite of suffering, in spite of so called atonements, my propensity to stop doing those activities doesn't happen. That is why we have to practice bhakti. I was just talking to Yudhil Kishore Prabhu the other day. He said, if you give Krishna consciousness to your children, 99% of your problems are gone because they are automatically taken care now. Paramatma within their heart guides them what to do and what not to do. That means it reduces our headache. What is the headache we have if he does something wrong, if she does something wrong? How do I take care of that? Because now they are connected to Krishna. Krishna is guiding them as a Paramatma. Krishna is guiding to everyone, but who can hear? Someone has to tune in. Like you want to you want to hear a particular radio channel. You have to tune into that frequency. Then only you can hear. What is the tuning? The tuning is to chant Hare Krishna. When the kids chant Hare Krishna, they tune their understanding with Krishna's understanding or Krishna's guidance, and they can understand what to do now in certain situations. Right? Because there are a lot of tempting situations which comes in kids' life. Someone asks them to smoke, someone asks them to drink, someone asks them to do something nonsense. Someone asks them to take drugs, which is so common here in States. If they touch it, gone. Who is guiding them? Who is going to take care of them? Because you're not going to be there with them all the time. How do you take care of them? You will have to build their free will to accept whatever is favorable and reject whatever is not favorable. That is why Krishna consciousness is needed. Right? So, with that, I think I want to stop. Any questions or comments we have here? So, today we covered 14, 15 and 16 of ninth chapter. If you get an opportunity, please read before we met before we meet next week, so that we can understand where we are coming from.
Okay.
Thank you, bro. Any questions or comments? Okay.
No.
If there are no questions and comments, I'm really grateful to you for joining in today. Um, we will continue coming Monday. I'll be going to New Vrindavan, so I'll be driving back, but I'll still have the class. If you could join, and if you're not able to join, please let me know. I decide, I plan my day based on this class. Sometimes I have to cancel my own personal activities for this class to happen. So I really appreciate if you let me know. If you don't want to join, we can skip that day. Like last Saturday I had some engage last Monday I had some engagement, I did not go just because this was this class. So I just want to make sure I do justice to my family and my work as well, because this is important. It's not that I don't want to do it, but I really want the commitment from you all as well. Okay.
I- Okay.
Thank
Is
you.
there any
Yes.
function in Vrindavan or what?
No, Prabhu, it's 5 years drive. It's West Virginia actually. It's a beautiful